Once upon a time, in a bustling village in Nigeria, there lived a young boy named Chinedu. Chinedu was known throughout the village for his bright smile and helpful nature. He was the only child of the village chief and his wife, and they doted on him with all their hearts. Every day, the villagers would say, "There goes Chinedu, the pride of our village." Chinedu's parents provided him with everything he needed, and he grew up surrounded by love and laughter. Chinedu's home was the grandest in the village, with many rooms and a large courtyard where children would play. His father was a skilled hunter, and his mother was known for her beautiful crafts. Together, they made sure Chinedu lacked nothing. Chinedu's days were filled with joy. He would help his father with hunting and his mother with crafting, and he would play with the other children in the village. Everyone loved Chinedu for his kindness and generosity, just like his parents. But amidst all the happiness, there was one place in Chinedu's home that was mysterious and off-limits. It was a room at the back of the house, behind a locked door that no one ever opened. Chinedu's parents had warned him never to enter that room, saying it was a place of old secrets best left undisturbed. Chinedu was curious about the room, but he respected his parents' wishes and never ventured near it. The room remained a mystery, its secrets hidden behind a heavy door and a veil of silence. One day, tragedy struck the village. Chinedu's parents were on their way back from a neighboring village when their canoe capsized in the river. The news spread quickly, and the village mourned the loss of their beloved chief and his wife. Chinedu was heartbroken. He missed his parents terribly and felt lost without them. The villagers rallied around him, offering their support and love. They tried to comfort him, but nothing could fill the void left by his parents' passing. As the days passed, Chinedu tried to be strong. He took on more responsibilities in the village, helping wherever he could. But deep down, he longed for the warmth and love of his parents. The village elders noticed Chinedu's sadness and decided to intervene. One evening, they gathered at Chinedu's home to discuss his well-being. The head elder, a wise man named Bobasu, spoke gently to Chinedu. "Chinedu, we understand your pain," Bobasu said, his voice kind. "But we are here for you. We will help you through this difficult time." Chinedu felt a glimmer of hope. He knew he was not alone, that the village stood beside him. With their support, he felt a little stronger, a little more capable of facing the challenges ahead. But as the days went by, a strange thing began to happen. A foul smell started to emanate from the mysterious room in Chinedu's house. At first, it was faint, like a whisper in the wind, but it grew stronger with each passing day. The villagers noticed the smell too, and whispers spread through the village. What could be causing such a stench, they wondered. Some said it was a sign of bad luck, while others feared it was a curse from the spirits. Chinedu was troubled by the smell. He knew there was something strange about that room, something his parents had kept hidden. With the support of the village elders, Chinedu decided to investigate. He gathered his courage and approached the locked door. As he stood before the door, he could hear faint whispers, as if the room itself was speaking to him. With a deep breath, Chinedu turned the key and pushed open the door. What he saw inside made his blood run cold. Inside the room, Chinedu found a small chest, covered in dust and cobwebs. He approached it slowly, his heart pounding in his chest. With trembling hands, he opened the chest and found it filled with old, yellowed papers. As he began to read, Chinedu's eyes widened in shock. The papers were letters, written by his parents many years ago. They spoke of a great treasure hidden somewhere in the village, a treasure that could bring prosperity to all who lived there. But the letters also spoke of a curse that would befall anyone who tried to find the treasure. Chinedu was stunned. He had never heard of such a thing, and he couldn't understand why his parents had kept it a secret. As he read on, Chinedu learned that his parents had tried to find the treasure themselves, but they had been unsuccessful. They had hidden the letters and locked them away, hoping to protect their son from the dangers that lay hidden in the village. Chinedu knew he had to find the treasure. It was a chance to honor his parents' memory and bring prosperity back to the village. But he also knew he had to be careful. The curse was real, and he couldn't risk bringing harm to himself or the village. With the help of Baba Sul and the other elders, Chinedu began to search for the treasure. They combed through the village, following the clues in the letters and searching every nook and cranny. Days turned into weeks, and still, they found nothing. The villagers grew restless, and some began to doubt the existence of the treasure. But Chinedu remained determined. He knew the treasure was real, and he wouldn't give up until he found it. One day, while searching near the riverbank, Chinedu stumbled upon a hidden cave. Inside, he found a large chest, covered in ancient symbols. With trembling hands, he opened the chest and found it filled with gold and jewels, enough to bring prosperity to the village for generations to come. Excitedly, Chinedu gathered the villagers and showed them the treasure. They cheered and celebrated, grateful for Chinedu's bravery and determination. The curse had been broken, and the village was saved. But as they rejoiced, Chinedu couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He knew the curse was real, and he feared that by finding the treasure, he had unleashed something far more dangerous than he could have imagined. As night fell over the village, a shadow passed over Chinedu's heart. The true test of his courage and the fate of the village lay ahead, shrouded in darkness and mystery. As the night grew darker, a strange feeling of unease settled over the village. Chinedu couldn't sleep, his mind racing with thoughts of the curse and what it might mean for the village. He knew he had to find a way to protect his home and the people he cared about. The next morning, Chinedu sought out Baba Sul, the village elder known for his wisdom and knowledge of ancient law. Baba Sul listened carefully as Chinedu recounted the events of the previous day, the discovery of the treasure, and his fears about the curse. Baba Sul's face grew grave as he listened. "The curse is real, Chinedu," he said solemnly. "But it is not something that can be easily undone. We must tread carefully if we are to protect the village." Together, Chinedu and Baba Sul devised a plan. They would gather the villagers and perform a ritual to appease the spirits and ward off the curse. It would be a dangerous undertaking, but Chinedu knew it was the only way to ensure the safety of his home. That evening, as the sun began to set, the villagers gathered in the center of the village. Chinedu stood before them, his voice strong and determined. He spoke of the curse and the need to protect the village, and he called upon the spirits to guide them in their endeavor. Together, the villagers began the ritual, chanting and dancing around a large bonfire. The air was thick with smoke and the sound of drums filled the night. As the ritual reached its climax, a strange wind began to blow, swirling around the villagers and filling them with a sense of dread. But Chinedu stood firm, his eyes locked on the flames. He knew that this was their only chance to break the curse and protect the village. As the wind died down, a sense of calm settled over the village, and Chinedu knew that they had been successful. But their victory was short-lived. As the weeks passed, strange things began to happen in the village. Crops failed, animals fell ill, and sickness spread among the people. Chinedu knew that the curse was still at work, and he feared that they had only angered the spirits further. Desperate for a solution, Chinedu sought out Boba Su once again. Together, they consulted the ancient texts, searching for a way to break the curse once and for all. And finally, they found it. According to the text, the only way to break the curse was to find the spirit responsible and appease it. Chinedu knew that this would be no easy task, but he was determined to protect his village, no matter the cost. Armed with this new knowledge, Chinedu set out on a journey to find the spirit. He traveled deep into the forest, following the ancient paths that led to the spirit world. Along the way, he faced many trials and challenges, but he pressed on, knowing that the fate of his village depended on him. Finally, after many days of travel, Chinedu reached the spirit world. He stood before the spirit responsible for the curse, a fearsome creature with eyes like fire and a voice like thunder. But Chinedu was not afraid. He spoke to the spirit with respect and humility, offering gifts and asking for forgiveness. To his surprise, the spirit listened. It had been angered by the villagers' greed and disrespect for the land, but Chinedu's actions had shown that he truly cared for his home and his people. Moved by his sincerity, the spirit agreed to lift the curse. Chinedu returned to the village a hero, the curse broken and the village saved. The people rejoiced, grateful for Chinedu's bravery and determination. And as he stood before them, a sense of peace settled over the land, knowing that they were finally free from the curse that had haunted them for so long. But Chinedu knew that the true test of his courage was not in breaking the curse, but in ensuring that it never returned. He vowed to protect his village and its people, no matter what challenges lay ahead. And as he looked out over the village, he knew that with courage, determination, and a little bit of luck, anything was possible. As Chinedu continued to protect his village, he reflected on the lessons he had learned throughout his journey. He realized that the curse had taught him many valuable things, and he wanted to share these lessons with the people of his village. The first lesson Chinedu learned was the importance of respect. He realized that by respecting the land and the spirits that dwelled within it, they could live in harmony with the world around them. This reminded him of the Bible verse from Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11, which says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. This verse teaches us that everything in the world has its purpose and should be respected. The second lesson Chinedu learned was the power of forgiveness. He saw how the Spirit had forgiven him and his village for their past mistakes, and he knew that forgiveness was key to moving forward. This reminded him of Matthew 6 verses 14 to 15, which says, "For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins." This verse teaches us that forgiveness is essential for a peaceful life. The third lesson Chinedu learned was the importance of bravery. He saw how his courage had saved his village from the curse, and he knew that sometimes, we must face our fears head-on to achieve greatness. This reminded him of Joshua 1 verse 9, which says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." This verse teaches us that God is with us in our times of need and gives us the strength to be brave. The fourth and final lesson Chinedu learned was the value of unity. He saw how the villagers had come together to support him in his quest, and he knew that together, they were stronger. This reminded him of 1 Corinthians 12 verses 12 to 13, which says, "Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. For we were all baptized by one Spirit so as to form one body, whether Jews or Gentiles, slave or free, and we were all given the one Spirit to drink." This verse teaches us that we are all part of God's family and should work together in harmony. Chinedu shared these lessons with the people of his village, and they embraced them wholeheartedly. They knew that by following these teachings, they could live in peace and harmony with each other and with the world around them. And as they lived out these lessons, the village prospered, and Chinedu knew that he had truly achieved greatness in the eyes of his people and in the eyes of God.